All right, welcome back, everybody. Another edition of Trust the Mics, ready to go. Awful Eagles game. Hopefully, this will make you feel a little better. Mike Gill, Michael Kasky, Blomain. Sixers coming off a loss to the Lakers the other night. A lot in that game, a lot moving forward, a lot of downtime for the Sixers. We got that. We got some trade stuff. We got this, that, the other thing. What's up, MKB?
Still reeling from that Eagles loss last night, Mike. How about you?
Yeah, it was late night. It was awful. I don't even want to talk about it on this Sixers pod. This is supposed to – are the Sixers here to make us feel better? That can't happen, right?
What kind of world are we in if that's the case?
What kind of world are we in if that's the case? We got a lot going on. That Laker game the other night, Embiid 4 for 21. Let's fire up some Embiid conversation here. How Embiid looks, what – is this all Embiid is? I don't know what to make of this thing. It's frustrating. Is he playing like possum? Like, what do we make of Embiid through this first, like, almost, 25? I think they're 23 games into the season.
We have to hope that this isn't it, Mike, because it's not looking good. It's not looking good. I mean, what are your thoughts? We'll start with there.
I mean, I'm just like, this is so frustrating. Now, I do think he gave some clarity the other night, which was like somewhat good. Like, he'll play a game. They don't want him. They basically want him to play and then sit 2 days. So now it's almost like he's not going to play in back-to-backs. That we already knew. But now, if he plays on Monday, most likely he's not going to play on a Wednesday. He's going to need 2 days off. The question is, how long is that? Like, how long is that shenanigan going to go on? So, okay, he plays Monday, 2 days off. When do you say we can get you back on the pace where you only need 1 day off? Because he said it the other night. Like, he's 4 for 21, but he was happy with his shots. He's just not in any rhythm. He never plays 2 games in a row to where he gets that touch. He gets that feel. So if that's really the case, when they start to say, we feel like we can let you play Monday, Wednesday, Friday, yada, 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 I guess I'll have to reserve judgment till then. Until that, I don't know what to think. You can't go 4 for 21 and play no defense. I mean, that's not like if he makes 2 shots, they win that game. So, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I do understand, though. Listen, I'm no Joel hater. I'm not the guy that says retire, trade him. You can't trade him. He's not going to retire. He took 21 shots. Most nights he's going to make 10 of them. He said they were good shots. I would shoot them again. Do you agree?
Most of them, yeah. I would say most of them came in the flow of the offense and their shots that we've seen him make before. But to me, like the biggest thing that sticks out, Mike, is just even if they are shots that you get in the flow of the offense, it's a very limited like offensive diet. It's elbow jumpers, it's trail 3-pointers, it's pick and pop 3-pointers, it's nothing on the block, it's nothing going to the rim, it's nothing. He had one play, I'm sure you remember it. He got to the rim. It was a nice little like kind of back curl around move. He got there, and I don't know if he surprised himself that he was able to get there or what, but then he blew it at the rim and kind of like fell to his knees after the play, and that was the closest that we saw to him kind of making an athletic move to the rim, and then once there, he couldn't even finish. So like the shots that he got largely in that Lakers game, I did think were makeable shots, but at the same time, like the shot diet to me is a concern. And I think that circles back to the original question. Like, is this what Joel is at this point? Like, is he strictly a spot up, mid-range elbow, nail guy, 3-point trail, pop, pick and pop guy? And so far, Mike, that just seems like what his game is limited to on the offensive end this season.
I mean, I think right now that's, the question is that all he is, or is that all they want him to be right now? Like, hey, we just want you to play. We just want you out there. We just want you to get in the flow, get the blood working until we're ready. Like, it's obvious to me anyway. It's almost as if they're like, don't rebound. Don't get yourself tangled up in the lane. Don't get your legs, like, around anybody. Just get out of the way. And, like, just, hey, if there's a night where he's shooting well, we're good. And if not, whatever, he played. And it's like, when do they push that button to where they're like, now you can play back to – now, I don't know that he's going to play back-to-backs ever, but now you can play with 1 day rest. Like, I have no idea how to read this.
See, my thing is, I don't know if that's coming from the Sixers. Like, I don't know if that's a message passed down or if that's something with Joel, mentally and internally right now, where he's kind of avoidant of contact and avoidant of, going up for a block or going up in a scrum for a rebound in fear that he's going to, that he's not fully confident in the leg and that something could get injured. I haven't got indication that that's been like messaging from the front office or the coaching staff, like, hey, watch yourself, or if it's just Joel and the level of comfort he has with his body right now. And the hope is, maybe as the season goes on, and like you said, if he can play a little bit more, doesn't have to miss quite so many games, can play a few more minutes, maybe some comfortability comes back into, him being comfortable with what he can do out there. But as of right now, he just looks like he doesn't have full faith in his own body that he can do the stuff that we saw him do, over the course of the previous 8 years before these knee problems popped up.
And I'm not suggesting who's telling him what. I have no idea. I'm just wondering if this is a collective thing. Is this them all coming together? Like, hey, we just want you out there. We just want you to play. Like, we just want to see you go up and down. And then the next step will be instead of 2 days off, because he said that his shot selection, he said every shot felt like it was the right there. I think it all comes down to just getting back in a rhythm, playing every day, and I think it's hard. It's just hard just being in and out, but I got to do it. I like what I got tonight, just happened to miss him. Maybe next time it's going to go. Okay. So he went on to say, if it's wide open, you got to take them. I've been in a lot of situations where I've made some of them and I've missed some of them. So I just got to take them. And obviously there's sometimes if you're open and someone else is open, and if you've had that type of shooter night, you got to make the extra pass. But in the situation that I was in tonight, I just happened to miss them. Nothing more than that. So he's saying, I like where I was. I got 21 shots. I played 30 minutes. Like I was a part of everything. He goes on to say, I'm feeling pretty good. I think, like I said, it's all about getting in that rhythm and playing every other day. I think we're getting there. The plan they have me on is playing, and then 2 days off in between, and then playing again. It's working pretty well. Hopefully that keeps going, and we can start doing it every other day. I'm feeling pretty good. So there's obviously a plan here where he's saying, they don't want me playing every other day. They want me to play and then take 2 off. So I would imagine he will play on Friday night against the Pacers and then probably not Sunday against the Hawks. And then they don't play again till the next Friday. Then they have a back-to-back. But that's what it sounds like the plan is. So it tells me that there's some sort of conversation. I don't know if that conversation includes don't rebound, don't get yourself tangled, don't get yourself in the mix, don't jump, all that stuff. Because LeBron goes down the center of the lane, he blocks a shot. I mean, so he could get up. We could see that. And listen, I've seen him play, get a rebound, start the break. There's nights when he has it. I just don't know what to think of it, man.
Yeah, no, it is tough, Mike. And I think that's why some people are holding out hope that this isn't like the final form of Joel Embiid, and that we're still dealing with.
It can't be.
Yeah,
you can't have a 3-year extension, and this is what you are.
Yeah,
there's no way.
Especially like you alluded to, like defensively, especially. I mean, obviously there was that. You see glimpses like that LeBron block, but consistently there's no lift there. There's no rim protection. There's no weak side help when he's out there. It's just. And you see the difference when you even have like a Boner or, Barlow, somebody out there that can move a little bit better. You can really see the difference. So I think personally, and like a lot of Sixers fans, I think you have to hold out hope that, like you said, like it's nice to know there is a plan in place, Mike, because a lot of times it seems like, especially with Joel, that they're kind of just like flying by the seat of their pants, and there isn't a plan. So at least there's that they have the plan in place. But hopefully it gets to a point where he's at least a little more comfortable, because he's not. He's not even a second option right now, Mike. Like if you're talking about Maxey taking this next step and him being the clear-cut number one, like you can't say right now that Joel Embiid is a number 2 option on this team, because the availability is not there, and the output it's not there where it needs to be yet, obviously.
No, and then he said one other thing. By the way, these are quotes from Kai Carlin over at Sixers Wire, so give him the credit for this is where I'm getting these. But he said, my old intern, Kai Carlin, great dude.
My old neighbor in Roxborough. He used to live right up the street from me.
Really? I did not know that. I saw him at the Blue Coats game when McCain played the other night. He said, even before the other stuff happened, when I had to miss a couple games, I felt like I was getting back to myself again. And obviously that happened, so I got to kind of start over. He's talking about the right knee. But I've been there before so many times, so I'll get back to it. But in his mind, does he feel that he's getting back and that there's more to get back to. Not that this is me being back. That, I think, is a big factor here.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's what we're alluding to, Mike. Like, I don't think we've seen the final form. But at the same, I mean, obviously Joel's going to hold out hope. Like, he obviously hopes that this isn't what he's, like, limited to moving forward. So he's teasing us, I guess, tantalizing us with the potential that he could be better. And the Sixers have to hope that he is. To your point, 3 years left after this season, a ton of money. Even if he's not the MVP player, they need him to be a guy that can be productive and contribute consistently. This season and moving forward. Obviously,
I got a little breaking news. You want some good news?
Yeah, let's hear it. I need something after that Birds game, Mike.
A little breaking news.
What do we got?
Kyle Schwarber, 5 years, $150 million. He's coming back to Philadelphia.
A little Phillies news on
Phillies news on the Trust the Mike show. We said, could the Sixers be the team? We knew we couldn't have nice Sixer things. The Phillies had to break in and give us the breaking news with Kyle Schwarber. Now, the Schwarber news comes after this awful night with the Sixers, and it's like, oh, you guys want to feel better? I'll break the Schwarber news. It's just happening. Jeff Passan, ESPN. Trust the mics even for your baseball stuff. Actually, that'll be me and Bob on Now Batting for the Phillies. I'll have to text him and see if we can pop on a quickie there. But all right, let's get back into it. Yeah, we do. So if Embiid can get better, look, I will say this. The one thing, and we talked about this, the one thing that Embiid does is he opens things up for everybody else because people are still doubling him. They are still acting as if he is Joel Embiid. So that helps Maxey. Somewhat inexplicably. But that, and it's something I want to get into in our next topic here. So Embiid, is he still getting better? Is this all he is? I don't think we'll have an answer to that until after All-Star break, trade deadline, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the ramp-up process you would think would lead all the way up to the playoffs. They don't seem in any rush. So, yeah, I mean, January, February, March, we'll see how he's looking then. All
right. This Giannis stuff. Number one, you have any interest in trading for Giannis, or are the Sixers not at a place, because they're in a weird place. Like, they still have Embiid for 3 more years after this. They still have Paul George for 2 more years after this. We talked about it last week. They're morphing into Maxey's team. Do you bring in a Giannis, another old guy? You'd probably have to trade Paul George, so he would be gone. But let's start with, do you have any interest in a Giannis trade?
I mean, inherently, yeah, Mike. I think by default, Giannis is a guy still, even at this point, that he's good enough that he's worth interest in a trade and could potentially, swing a conference, swing a playoff series, swing like the finals, right? Like, he's still that guy. He's playing as good as ever, it seemed like this year. Obviously, he's been out now with an injury for a little while with the calf. There was a scare there. But yeah, he's still an extremely productive player. The Sixers are in a weird spot because it's like you said, it's clearly Maxey's team now. They have Edgecombe, they have McCain, but they're still saddled with Joel for 3 more years. You still got Paul George for 2 more years after this. So it's like, do you fully commit to going young? And at that point, you don't even think about Giannis, or do you kind of still try to like bridge this part where you have Joel and Giannis makes sense on that timeline? So, I mean, to me, it's absolutely worth kicking the tires on. I don't know that ultimately the Sixers would have a good enough package or that it would make sense for them to do it. But if a guy like that becomes available talent-wise, skill-wise, I think it's absolutely worth, sniffing around at least.
So we were debating this on my show on the radio the other day. What's the package? Is it like, okay, VJ? I'm at Bucks. I got to ask for VJ, right?
Yeah, you have to start, I would say.
Paul George, VJ, and then your Clippers pick and probably another first.
Probably. You would need Paul George just to make the money work, obviously.
To make the money work, right. Yeah. But if you're the Bucks, you're asking for VJ, to which I said, I don't like VJ or I think he stinks. I think McCain is the better complementary player to Maxey than VJ is. Am I wrong?
That's tough. I don't know that it's a right or wrong thing. I look at it as long-term ceiling. I think VJ is much higher. What he can do on the court, defensively, rebounding, athleticism. Like, McCain is a nice piece, really good shooter, good playmaker. I think his ceiling is like, I don't know that Jared McCain is ever going to be an NBA All-Star. I don't know that he'll ever get to that level. I have a lot of confidence. I think that VJ Edgecombe can get there.
Okay.
Potentially.
Okay. So I only look at it like this. Maxey to me is so ball dominant. He's shooting like 30 times a night. Big picture. Where are the shots for VJ if you got a Giannis? Like, all of a sudden, his offense gets even more and more diminished because now you got two really ball-dominant players. And what I'm looking at is Giannis cutting down the middle of the lane, someone to kick out to. Do I want that kick out to be VJ or McCain?
Well, see, coming into the season, Mike, I would have said definitely McCain, but VJ Edgecombe on catch and shoot threes has been phenomenal this season.
He has been. And that's one knock against what I'm saying. He wasn't supposed to be this level of three-point shooter, though.
Right. And I mean, to me, that lifts the ceiling of his game exponentially. The fact that, like, the role that he's in this year, he's slid into being a role player on a starting team seamlessly as a rookie, to the point where Nick Nurse has said he's their best perimeter defender, and I would agree. And you see him.
And that's big. That is big on the other side of the argument is I think he's a more physical defender. He's a better rebounder. Look, this is like 220, 221 here. I'm just wondering who's the better fit, and I guess I'm looking more on the offensive side. Who's the better complement to Maxey? And then if I got Giannis.
Well, I mean, if you're the Bucks, like you said, you're asking for VJ Edgecombe. You're not asking for Jared McCain, and I think that in a way answers your question. Like, I just think the perception and the ceiling.
Well, because I think that VJ is more of a, as you said, he's got the potential to be that, but is that potential knocked down here because you have Maxey?
But wouldn't that be the same theory with McCain? Like, I mean, if you have Maxey and Giannis, regardless of who the third guy is, it's going to cut into their output. So, I mean, if you have those two, and to me, like, McCain is another guy that's best with the ball in his hands. Like, yeah, he can play catch and shoot, but he's a guy that's been playing well at coming in, kind of running that second unit. If you take the ball out of his hands, like, can he find ways to contribute like Edgecombe can without the ball in his hands? And I just think there's more that VJ can do other than just scoring that maybe McCain can't.
Maybe, but by the way, I hate the way they're using McCain, so I don't think we're even getting a fair way of looking at it. He doesn't play in the third quarter against his zone the other night. Oh, well, we didn't like the defensive matchups. All right, come on, dude. They're playing zone. You got McCain, who's just a better – I mean, I get the percentages right now are against my argument, but McCain – you got to get him going. Like, you got to get him going. You can't play him 18 minutes a night. It's just preposterous what's going on right now.
It makes, I mean, that falls squarely on Nick Nurse. I'm completely with you there, Mike. Like, not playing in the third quarter of that game. After he played pretty well in the first half, made some shots, made some plays, like, yeah, that makes no sense to me. I do, which might lean into more to my side. It seems like the Sixers themselves are already more committed to VJ Edgecombe as a future piece of the franchise. Absolutely.
I agree. I'm wondering if McCain, and obviously this is all factors. I mean, he got hurt, he missed time, now he's behind. But the McCain that we saw last year, you can almost make an argument that he has been a more impactful player than the VJ you're getting right now. I mean, McCain played with nobody last year, and I mean, he was unbelievable.
But I think that's part of it, Mike. He played with nobody, so he had to do a lot. McCain to me, or Edgecombe to me, has been so impressive because he's slid in and kind of flown under the radar as a rookie. Like, he's playing a role that you would expect a 10-year veteran to play, where he's a 3-and-D guy that can also get out and transition and throw down some nasty dunks.
But I know it sounds bizarre that I'm even on the one side, but I do agree. VJ is more athletic, more everything, better defender, better rebounder. I'm just trying to see the big picture. If you had a team with Maxey, Giannis, Joel, is it better to have a guy who's more of a quote-unquote like catch-and-shoot role guy? I think McCain doesn't get enough credit for his craftiness of his offense. You know, he will lower himself, back his way into the paint, then kind of fade himself out. He has that little reverse on the baseline. You know, VJ's offense is a little less refined at this point.
This season, Mike, catch-and-shoot three-point percentage, VJ Edgecombe 43.6, Jared McCain 40.5.
40.5 is not bad, and he is not getting near the rhythm that Edgecombe is getting. That's what my point is. I think Edgecombe is overperforming. I think McCain isn't performing well enough because he's not getting enough opportunity. So that tells me McCain's numbers could go up, whereas I think Edgecombe's might slide back. I hope not. I think Edgecombe turns into Maxey. Maxey was not a great college three-point shooter. He has turned into a very good three-point shooter, but he wasn't. Maybe that is what Edgecombe is. But I think the Edgecombe numbers are up, and I think the McCain numbers can go up if he gets better usage.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm in full agreement with you there. The way Nick Nurse has used McCain. Early on, I understood, obviously, when he was first coming back with the knee, with the thumb, they brought him back slowly. At this point in the season, him not being just like a regular rotation piece that's one of the first guys off the bench on a nightly basis every time when the opportunity presents itself is, I won't go as far as saying it's organizational malpractice, Mike, but it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
So let's talk about a Giannis thing in there. Would a VJ, Paul George, 2 first-round picks, would you do that?
I would not probably do that as the Sixers. The Bucks might do that. I don't think I would do that if I'm the Sixers. Would you do that?
I don't know. I mean, it sounds crazy to say, but Giannis, he's starting to break down a little bit. Do I need another guy who frustrates me because he keeps breaking down? I mean, to say that you don't want Giannis, does he fit on this team? Does a Giannis Embiid pairing for the next couple of years, would that get it done? What's Giannis have, 2 years left on that deal?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So you're basically swapping Giannis for Paul George, that role there. And, of course, you're giving up a pick and then another pick and VJ Edgecombe, the third pick. Yeah. I would tend to say, I just don't know where this organization is going. You're saddled with these contracts, so you have to factor in that they're a part of this.
So Giannis has 2 years left, with the second year being a player option in 27-28 for $62 million.
Man.
So one full year, one player option, and then
so you're not even guaranteed to get him for the 2 years. I mean, he's a player option. He could essentially say, I don't even want to be here.
And you're assuming at that point he would probably decline it because of that. You know, that might be the last chance for him to get one more huge deal when he's still near the peak of his power. So, yeah, I mean, you make that trade, you get him for maybe 1 season, 1.5 if you do it this year. No guarantee you have him for longer than that.
Yeah.
But to me, I mean, selling out on Edgecombe, and I'm not trying to be a prisoner of the moment. I know Sixers fans have done this before, but I'm very high on Edgecombe, and I feel like getting him.
I am too, by the way. I don't want to act like I'm like poo-pooing and Edgecombe's not all that good. I'm just looking at the big picture. If I had to make that deal, and I had Maxey and and McCain as my backcourt with Giannis and Joel, as opposed to, I just feel like now I have too many ball-dominant athletic guys, and I'm not sure that do you believe in Edgecombe as the shooter we're seeing?
Yeah, actually, I do, Mike. I really do, because I wasn't sure coming into this season, and the fact that he's already been this good, to me, shows that the sky is the limit for him. Like, he clearly worked on it since college already, since getting drafted, and the shot is nice, the confidence is nice, there's no hesitation. And like the catch and shoot thing to me is huge. Like he didn't play off ball a lot in college, and the fact that he can already do that at a high clip. And then to me too, when you're talking the backcourt, like Maxey Edgecombe, I have size worries, or rather Maxey McCain, I have size worries, and I have defensive worries. Mike, I think Edgecombe is a really nice fit next to Maxey, because he takes some of that burden from Maxey, where like Edgecombe was guarding Luka, for stretches in that game on the other night when they're playing the Lakers. Like, he's already obviously a better defender than Maxey, both like physically, he just has the size and the athleticism. So Maxey and McCain in the backcourt compared to Maxey Edgecombe, I just think you have a better rounded backcourt, because Edgecombe gives you that defense and that size that McCain doesn't necessarily offer.
Well, that I don't think the Sixers are interested or involved in any of that. Do you?
It doesn't seem like it, Mike. I mean, maybe as it develops more, and it could be possibly, but I haven't heard anything of that they're interested there, really.
Yeah, me neither. And I haven't heard much on the Giannis stuff anyway. Like, it seems like that just kind of like resurfaced from stuff that was talked about before, and it was like, oh, we're bored today, and let's bring up something. Third quarter issues, we keep seeing this. It's like a factor. I don't even know. What do we make of it?
It's at this point, Mike, it doesn't, I don't even know. It's frustrating. Obviously, that Lakers game, they go into halftime with a nice lead. They're outscored by 10 in the third quarter. momentum totally switches. They not able to hit shots. They're not able to work against that Lakers zone. Their own defense lets them down. Early in the season, it was, it was something where people were like, hey, it's whatever. I mean, Nick Nurse was asked about it. He kind of brushed it off. But to me, like, it's still a legitimate concern. I don't know. I mean, you go back to that Warriors game on Thursday, 32-24 in the third quarter. They're outscored by the Warriors, a Warriors team without Steph, without Jimmy Butler. Like, it's night in, night out. I would say there's probably 5 games this season, maybe, where they outscored the other team in the third quarter. And at that point, it's not like a coincidence. It's clearly something that's happening. I don't know what or how to fix it, but it continues to be an issue for this team. Like,
yeah, I don't even know, like, if you were to say what's the problem, I don't think I have any hypothesis at all.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't seem to be one specific thing other than it does seem like the energy level coming out of the half on a nightly basis drops. I don't know. We joked about it before. I don't know what Nick Nurse is saying in the halftime locker room, but whatever it is, it's clearly not motivating the guys very much to go out there and play well in that third quarter.
All right, McCain, Paul George, Barlow, Jabari Walker, like that group of guys. What do we think about like that? The role. I mean, Paul George isn't really a role player, although on this team he kind of is.
Let's start with Paul George, Mike, because I don't think he's been bad, but I would like to see more from Paul George. Like in a game like this Lakers game, we were talking about it. Joel's not Joel right now. He's not a clear number 2. So you're playing, Tyrese Maxey carrying this heavy load on the offense night in, night out, 40 minutes, 20 shots, has to score 30 points for them to have a chance with no clear cut. Like VJ is very good. He's not yet a clear cut second option. To me, there's this void on the Sixers team right now where they need a number 2 for Maxey. And I want to see Paul George like step up and grab the reins of that role. Like he's been playing. And again, that's not saying he's not been good, because I do think he's been pretty solid recently for this team. But he's Paul George, man. Like, I want to see him take over more and be more aggressive and not be so passive and, like, hunt for shots and look for mismatches and get going downhill. Like, the stuff that we know he's capable of doing. I think that, for me, that's where the frustration comes in, because he's been good. But I think, especially right now, until Joel and if Joel can get back to some semblance of what we saw, they need another guy to help Maxey out consistently. And Paul George can be that guy, but he's just been timid and passive. So I want to see more from him in terms of like, hey, like I can be the number 2 here when you need me to be, just more of that from him.
Yeah, I don't disagree with anything you're saying. The one thing I will wonder is, I don't know, like if there are times when I feel like, he's on like a minute restriction or something, and then like he'll do something, he'll get into a little rhythm, and you almost see him like look to the bench, like, nope, I'm good. Don't take me out. Like I'm wondering if he's still trying to find his way as well with all the minute stuff and the usage and all those things. And then he's trying to balance, like, because there are a couple times where you do see him kind of get into a little rhythm and do get going. And then you're right. It's not like he's like, hey, tonight's my night, I'm taking over this game.
Not once since he's been in Philly, Mike. Like, to me, that's the biggest thing when people are talking about, like, how can he fit the contract, which is all valid, but like, he's fine as a role player right now, but he's Paul George. Like, I want to see more from him, more fire, almost like more being like, yeah, you know what? Let me step up and help Tyrese out. I think he can. Maybe like you said, he's still working his way into it. He's just started cracking the 30-minute mark the last 2 games against LA and against Milwaukee. He played 32 and 30, which was his first 30-minute games of the season so far. So maybe that minute limit is creeping up a little bit, and maybe he will be able to start getting into the flow of things a little bit more. You have to hope, because they do need, someone to come and help Tyrese Maxey on a consistent basis, because he is just carrying a crazy load offensively for this team.
Totally crazy. Like, the fact that he's out there. And then I do think it's hurting Maxey. He's taking some wild shots. We talked about it, especially late in games, like in bigger moments. He doesn't get a call. I mean, the next call he gets will be his first.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's my one still, if you're looking to nitpick Tyrese Maxey's game, the decisions in crunch time, both in terms of shot selection and some turnovers. We saw it in that Lakers game, a lot of games where he just kind of ends up forcing some shots. And we've talked about it. Some of it to me is on Nick Nurse, I think, drawing up better plays in these situations to get other guys more involved. But yeah, I mean, on a nightly basis, I think if Maxey had a little bit more help throughout the course of the game, he's going to be a little bit fresher at the end to make some of these plays. And going to be fresher throughout the season. Like, it's something that I think ultimately the Sixers need to worry about a little bit, is like the workload that you're putting on this kid. If you want him to hold up for not just one season to get through the playoffs, but his entire career, like, he needs a little bit of help and some rest sometimes. And he hasn't been able to get it, Mike, because if he's not scoring 30 plus this year, they're not winning games. It's the best Iverson like impression that we could see, because they need him to drop 30. And if he doesn't, they're probably not going to win the game.
Yeah, no, listen, he's shooting 27 shots in a game, and then the next guy's shooting 12. You're talking about Iverson. Yeah, that's exactly what we're kind of seeing here. We are watching the Iverson whole era kind of, but the problem that I have with that is
the roster's better.
Iverson couldn't find anybody to play with him.
Yeah, the roster is better. That's the thing. It shouldn't be like that with this roster that the Sixers have now. They have guys that Iverson didn't have in terms of like the ability to score, but it still looks like it's Maxey, carrying the load every single night.
Every single night, yeah. All right, speaking of Maxey, I know I saw you tweeting about this the other day about who should be the last person called when they do the introduction. So Maxey right now is first when Joel plays.
When Joel plays.
Right.
When Joel does not play, he's last. And this is, to me, a very innocuous thing. I was sitting at the Lakers game on I'm losing track. What night was that? Sunday night. And they do the intros, and obviously Joel played, and Maxey comes out first, and then Joel's last. And the place is packed. Everyone's excited. Obviously, LeBron's in town, Luka. And the pop that Joel got just didn't resonate the same as it used to, Mike. Like a few years ago when he would announce, the 7-foot center from Cameroon, Joel, the process, and people would go nuts. It just didn't have the same vibe. So just popped into my head. I was like, I feel like Maxey should be introduced last. And it was not a knock on Joel. I wasn't trying to disrespect Joel by saying that. It was more so respecting Maxey as the guy that's been there, night in, night out for the past 3 years, honestly, carrying the team on a nightly basis, where Joel is in and out. Maybe he'll play. He'll miss a bunch of games. To me, it was more saying, like, listen, this is Maxey's team. It's clear to everybody it's Maxey's team. It's not a secret. I just thought he should be introduced last. That rubbed a lot of people the wrong way on social media.
Really?
Which is, of course, the case. I got a lot of not so nice messages in response, disrespecting Joel, this and that. But like I said, to me, it was more about, listen, like, Maxey is here every night, 40 minutes, putting the team on his back. Not a slight at Joel and what he's done in the past, but we're living in the present now. This is 2025. This is Tyrese Maxey's team. To me, he deserves the last intro. Very curious to hear where you stand on this, Mike.
I'm a little surprised. I see. Okay. You were there, and you can't tell on TV what the reaction is. Like, I was wondering if Joel's getting booed.
See, he's absolutely not getting booed. It's not boos, but I mean, as someone that's been to hundreds of Sixers games with Joel over the past decade, the energy level of him getting introduced this season is not what it was. And I think that the energy level when Maxey gets introduced, when Joel doesn't play, is higher than right now than what you get when Joel does play and he's the last guy. And that was the thought process that led to that tweet. And I just feel like it should be Maxey based off the energy, based off the vibes, and based off him being the guy that's out there night in and night out when we don't know whether or not Joel is going to play from game to game or week to week.
Listen, I would keep it consistent and just say, look, Maxey's here every night. He's going to be the guy that's last. It is an oddball, though, that Embiid would come out first. That would be an odd situation. I know this isn't like life or death here, but there are optics of – I think it's a fun conversation.
Yeah.
I probably would start to kind of shift it to, hey, Maxey's the guy here every night. Let's just put him last.
That's exactly where I stand, Mike. And again, that's not a knock on Joel. It's not a knock on all that he's done for the franchise, but for the consistency. Like, it's weird to switch it out like on a game by game basis. And yeah, Maxey's there every night. When Joel plays, he can be second to last. To me, Joel seems like a guy that would care about something about that a little bit more than Maxey would. Maybe that's part of it. Joel has been a guy that I think is always in his head a little bit with fans and the way things go. I think maybe he would feel slighted if they did approach him and say, like, hey, we're going to have Maxey introduced last, where Tyrese, I feel like, probably wouldn't care. So maybe that's part of it. But yeah, to your point, it's obviously not a serious topic, but I just thought it was I was surprised by the reaction that I got to it when I tweeted out. I didn't think it would be something that was like a controversial take at all, but it proved to be.
I was thinking it, though. Like, when I'm watching the game Sunday night and they're putting the introductions on and I see Maxey out first, I'm waiting to see what the reaction is from Embiid, and you can't really tell on the TV whether or not they're, like, drowning out the whatevers or there are actual cheers or if he's still getting the same reaction of, like, that's our guy. He comes out. Like, I've seen him come out in the past where he comes running out from, like, the back.
The tunnel, yeah.
Yeah, he'll come, like, out from, like, the tunnel, like, by himself almost. And then there's been a lot of discussion about Joel not sitting on the bench when he doesn't play. I think that's another interesting optic.
Yeah, it is, and it's not great. He did that in the Lakers game, like the introduction. He comes out, he's in the locker room, I believe, getting, like, treatment or, something right before the game. And then when the intro comes out, he comes running all the way up through the tunnel. So he's not in the little scrum, like, with the guys beforehand. I mean, some of the optics definitely are questionable there for sure.
All right, so Sixers quiet week, but a lot happening here. Maxey, 23 games, 31 points a game, playing almost 40 minutes a night. They got to try to start lessening those minutes, although you got a big break here with this NBA Cup. Trivia question, do you know the 4 teams left in the NBA Cup?
Lakers, Spurs. No, wait.
I should say
Mavericks.
the 8 teams left. Sorry.
Mavericks, Spurs, Knicks, Raptors. I got to double check.
The Heat and the Magic play against each other. I know
Heat,
that.
Magic.
Yeah. The Heat play the Magic. The Knicks play Toronto. There's no Mavericks. It's Suns, Oklahoma City,
Lakers,
San Antonio Lakers.
Yeah. Which that could be a good game if Wembanyama's back tomorrow night. Lakers Spurs, that could be a good one.
Well, that's a good question to get out on. We can get out on is the Lakers are pretty good. The fact that the Sixers went toe to toe with them, had a 4 for 21 shooting night. Do you use the Lakers at all as hey, they're right there with that team?
I mean, yeah, there's some of that, Mike. I mean, I'm not big into moral victories in a game like that. I think you're at full strength. You have Joel, you have Paul George. It's a winnable game. You're up by 8-7 at halftime, whatever it was. Come out and completely just tank out in the third quarter. So I didn't feel great about it, but at the same time, it took a vintage turn back the clock performance from LeBron there in the fourth quarter, 10 straight, bunch of threes. Really weird defensive coverage, by the way, on there. Paul George kept leaving LeBron open on the wing and for multiple threes. It questionable call right there. But yeah, I mean, I think the Sixers played well, but they've all season, they struggled to win and close it out against good teams, and that's the concern to me. The record's all right, but if you look back, they beat the Wizards, they beat the Bucks without Giannis, beat the Warriors without Steph and Draymond by 1, thanks to a great putback from Edgecombe and then an awesome athletic block from Maxey. Play a Lakers team that's good and you lose, so it's I think it's just a reminder of where these Sixers are. They're a good team, they're a competitive team. They can beat a lot of the the lower seeded teams in this league. But when they're up against a team with talent like a Luka and LeBron and the Lakers team, it's been a struggle to pull out wins. And I think that's probably about where they are as a team right now. A good team, a good team that can beat a lot of teams, but probably not on that upper echelon of the top contending teams in the conferences.
All right. Don't forget, every Tuesday, Trust the Mike's a Sixers show. Mike Gill, Michael Kasky, Blomain. You can like, share, subscribe, be a part of the show in every way possible. We're live on Tuesdays on the X platform and on YouTube. You can get us in perpetuity on the YouTube channel and on the X platform, the podcast on all podcasting platforms. Just search for Trust the Mikes on the BFA Live Sports YouTube channel, at Mike Gill Show, at The Real Mike KB. There's plenty of ways you can find us, and you guys have been doing a good job of finding us there. Sixers off till Friday. They play the Pacers. Sunday, they play the Hawks, and then they're off till Friday again when they play the Knicks, and then a back-to-back with the Mavs. They got the Nets, the Bulls. So there's a stretch of games before they play OKC on the 28th that they can build up. Right now, as we record and go live right here, the Sixers are in the play-in. They are the 7th seed, but they're really only 3 games behind the Knicks. They're only a game. By the way, I'll tell you the team. The Celtics are going to get Tatum back, and I wouldn't be surprised if they are the best team in the East by the end of this season.
Which is a surprise, Mike. I know at least I personally didn't, see that happening. Not only the Tatum injury, but you lose so many key pieces. Porzingis is gone. Drew Holiday is gone. Like, they have retooled with a lot of role players that have been really good this season. Derek White, obviously. I think Jaylen Brown's been great. And to your point, they're looking like a team that could be a legit threat, which I did not see coming.
No. I think many people almost wondered, wow, are they going to be in the tank mode and find another player to add to the Brown Tatum for next year? That's not their mindset at all. They're going for the East, and I wouldn't be surprised. Right now, by the way, they are the 3 seed at 15-9. The Raptors fallen back a little bit. I think the Raptors are vulnerable. Magic, the Wagner injury, that kind of stinks. The Heat, they're falling back a little bit. That really, I think 4, 5, 6 is going to be like musical chairs here.
Yeah, all the way through 8, Mike, because the Cavs, the Sixers right now are ahead of the Cavs in the standings, which is, a little surprising, but I think they could play better. Same with the Hawks. Like, Trae Young's been out. They've been playing really well without him. I think the cutoff to me is the 9, where the Bucks obviously are the 10 spot right now with 10 and 15.
Well, and the Bucks, what happens with Giannis, that team stinks. They stink.
Right.
And the Bulls stink. So really, there's 10 teams fighting. There's 11 teams really for 10 spots, and 2 of those 10 are pretty bad, or 2 of those 11.
Yeah, so I like, to your point, I think that 4 through the 9 range in the East is going to be pretty fluid, and we could see a lot of changing like throughout the season.
Cool. All right, good stuff, man. As always, hit the like button, subscribe on YouTube, and hit the bell so you know when we go live. Tuesdays around 11 o'clock, we are live right here on Trust the Mics. MKB, good to see you, man. We're getting to the holiday season, which is nuts. We had, by the way, breaking news. We had the Schwarber news, and Rob Thompson just got an extension. So for people out there, Rob Thompson also gets an extension through 2027 now. I don't know if that's as popular as Schwarber.
I was going to say, I'll have to tune into your baseball shows to get your guys' takes about that, because I know that some people were calling for his job after this.
No doubt. No doubt. We're trying to set up that emergency pod now as we speak. So that might be fired up here in the next half hour or so. So keep it right here on the BFA channel at Mike Gill Show. All right, man. Good to see you.
You too, Mike. Have a good one.
All right, everybody. We'll talk to you next week.